Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I'm so excited because we are going to be decorating my Kindle for fall, which is so long awaited, at least for me, because if you don't know, I usually decorate my Kindle every season, but I skip summer, so I'm really excited to change the current stickers that I have into a more autumnal vibe. If you cannot already tell, I'm kind of obsessed with fall. It's literally my favorite season, so I'm really looking forward to changing my current stickers into some nice fall ones. These are the current stickers that I have, which aren't bad by any means, but doesn't go with the vibes that I want. So we're gonna change them out. I have these stickers that I purchased last year, and I filmed a video decorating my Kindle during that time as well, and I just love these ones. They're in a pack of 50. I got them from Amazon for really cheap, so I will link my stickers in the description if you want to match, because these are like really good high quality stickers. And also I like to use a clear case so then I can like change them out and I don't have to like commit. So everything that I use, the stickers, the case, the Kindle, even maybe these stickers that I'm currently using, if you are interested in any of them, they're going to be in the link in the description. So we're going to do that today. And also I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the books that I've read that are available on Kindle Unlimited, in case you have that and want to read some of my recommendations or hear some of the reviews, because not all of them are books that I absolutely love. Some of them might be hot takes. So I just feel like talking about books and sharing the good, the bad, not all of them, because I do want to film a video talking about maybe all the books I read on my Kindle or all my favorite books that I've read on Kindle. But right now I'm just gonna pick and choose a few of them so we can discuss. I've made reviews also about my Kindle, whether I think it's worth it or not, if you are curious and don't know if you want to get one. But pretty much I am obsessed with my Kindle. I love it so much. I feel like it makes me read more, just because sometimes buying books is really expensive, and Kindle Unlimited is I think $12 a month, which a lot of times you can't even buy one book for $12. So I think it's definitely worth it. I currently have the Kindle Paperwhite, the 8GB one, which I absolutely love, and I wish I could link the very exact one I have, but unfortunately they discontinued the 8GB, which I'm kind of like, why did they do that? They do have the 16GB still available, but either way, they're really nice, super worth it. So let's go ahead and start talking about books and decorating for fall. Okay, so the first book that I want to talk about is Archer's Voice, which I did not read on my Kindle. I actually have the physical copy, but it is available on Kindle Unlimited in case you would like to read it for free. But I think that was the first book I've ever given 5 stars for, which is very surprising too, because I feel like it follows tropes that I typically don't go for. It's not really my favorite. It's a small town trope, I guess friends to lovers in a way, but it pretty much follows this girl who's new to this small town. She meets this guy named Archer who doesn't speak, and there are a lot of, I guess, rumors that go around in the town about how he ended up not being able to speak, because he was born able to speak. So we've pretty much followed their friendship and learning more about the town, why he isn't able to speak, and also her own trauma, which was really interesting. It is one of those books that will break your heart, but it has a happy ending, so that's good. But I absolutely loved it. I did try reading another book by Mia Sheridan, who's the author, but not gonna lie, I didn't like it as much. It was called Wish Collector, which is also available on Kindle, but it was just way too sad. I guess it still had a happy ending, but it just was not my vibe. It had like talks about like slavery and discrimination and whatnot, which honestly I do not like reading about. I don't need to read books letting me know that if I lived in another time period I would have been enslaved. Like, it's not my vibe. So yeah, I didn't enjoy it very much, but Archer's Voice, 5 stars. I definitely recommend it whether or not you have a Kindle. Read that. Okay, then the next book or series I want to talk about is the Dreamland Billionaire series, which is available on Kindle. I did not read it on Kindle just because I like the physical books. They have really pretty covers. So all 3 pretty much follow these rich boys who their grandfather recently passed away and has these tasks that they need to accomplish in order to get their share of their inheritance. And so each book is about the 3 grandsons who are brothers and how or if they are able to complete the tasks for the grandfather. This is one of those series where I feel like I love it, but I don't know if I would say it's a good book. Does that make sense? Like, there's a difference between a good book and I love the book. Like, don't get it twisted. And I don't know how to explain it really other than that. Like, I just felt like it made me happy to read. There were definitely cringy parts in the series that I feel like I can brush aside just because I love reading it. So keep that in mind. But the first book is about the youngest brother, and he's tasked with revamping Dreamland, which is literally like Disneyland and what their grandfather created, and it's a huge theme park and all that stuff. So he has to like come up with like renovation plans, and he ends up meeting a girl, and we follow that story, and it's all cute. It's a Grumpy Sunshine situation, which I freaking love, and I love billionaires, so like keep that in mind. Grumpy Sunshine, billionaires, enemies to lovers, stuff like that I eat up. So if you don't like it, then you probably won't like this series. Then the second book is again another Grumpy Sunshine, but it's Marriage of Convenience, I guess. The first brother and the youngest brother are pretty much the same in terms of personality. Apparently the oldest brother is supposed to be even grumpier, but I feel like it's like the same. I don't know. The only difference that I felt like is that while the younger brother was grumpy, he showed more restraint for the oldest brother because he's, I guess, the oldest and more scary. But the oldest brother, he just doesn't care who you are. He's gonna do and say whatever he wants. So, and then the last one was a second chance romance, which honestly is not really my vibe. I don't typically go for second chance romance because I feel like they've been there, done that. I don't need to read about it. But if that's your vibe, there you go. It's about the middle brother, and he's tasked with selling their vacation home or family home or something like that. So we just pretty much follow all three brothers in their love story. The second one's my favorite. I reread it this year, and I usually never reread books, but it just made me feel happy, and I just like that it was a black girl main character. And like I mentioned previously, I don't like reading about slavery or discrimination or trial and tribulations that black women have to go through. That's just not my vibe. So I love that her own trials or tribulations had nothing to do with race. I really like the Dreamland Billionaire series. If you want something lighthearted, contemporary romance, billionaires, get you this series because I really enjoyed it. The next one is the Never After series, which is a series of, how many books are we at now? Like 5? I think the 6th one might be coming out soon. And it's pretty much reimagined fairy tales where we are rooting for the villain. The first one was a Peter Pan reimagining, then The Lion King, The Wizard of Oz, Aladdin, Hunchback, and then the last one is going to be The Little Mermaid. I haven't read Hunchback or Little Mermaid yet, and I probably will, but if I'm being honest, this series isn't that great. I think the most I've rated this was maybe a 4 stars, and that was Scarred, which is the Lion King one, and it's the second book. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, I had no real complaints besides small stuff here and there, which, by the way, check out my reading playlist if you want more information on any of these books, because I've definitely gone into more detail with every single one of these. But yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan of, especially Wretched, which is the Wizard of Oz reimagining. It just was not my vibe. Also, the Aladdin one wasn't that great. I think the Peter Pan one was okay, but yeah, it's dark, which I do like, kind of like dark romance type books, but this one just, I don't know. There were a lot of things that I just wasn't really feeling all that much. With that being said though, I will continue reading it because it's one of those like mindless type reads where I don't have to be obsessed with every book that I read. I don't feel like I have to seek only like top tier writing and great books and stuff like that. So I absolutely will continue reading the series, but it's nothing like amazing if I'm being completely honest. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a quick update on all the stickers that I've picked out so far. So I realized that I put all the stickers I used last year at the top of the stack, which were my favorites. And so this stack is what I used last year that I still really enjoy. And then here are a few that I picked out that I might want to swap. I don't want to make the exact same case that I made last year, but like if I'm being honest, these stickers are really cool. So I have this little leaf, this mail with leaves, which I'm absolutely going to use again. I don't care what anyone says. It's adorable. Then this little chunky bird, this mushroom, which I've been seeing a lot of things with mushrooms recently, and I really like them. I feel like they're like, mushrooms are really cute. And then I have this little hedgehog, which is also cute and has the mushrooms at the bottom as well. And then this truck that says Hello Autumn, which I think is also adorable. So those are the few stickers from last year that I still really enjoy. And then here are some, oh actually I think I also used this deer last time. Oh dang, so I only have 2 new stickers that I really want to add to it. I like these pumpkins here. I think they're cute. And then this little rabbit, so cute and chunky. I don't want to make the same case as last year, but shoot, if I like it, I like it. I'll switch out the orientation and not make it the same, because if I'm being honest, I don't even really remember. But that's a quick little Kindle update. Let's keep talking about books. So I read the Vicious Lost Boy series, which I'm not even gonna go into a lot of detail about, but pretty much it is a Peter Pan reimagining, retelling something. It is super spicy and honestly poorly written. I do not recommend it. It's like a 1 star if that, but if you don't care about plot and only care about spice, then shoot, maybe it's for you. But I just felt like there was a lot of holes that I found in the series that weren't adding up in terms of consistency and plot, and then also there would be like fighting and action scenes that were really badly written. But if you're into weird spice, then go ahead, read this book. Then I want to talk about the Twisted series, which I did make a review about it. I don't know, I feel like my thoughts will always kind of change and evolve as I get older and read more books, because a lot of the books that I read early on, maybe I said it'd be like a 4 stars or something, but do I think the same? I don't know. And I feel like especially if time goes by and I don't think about the book very often, or I've read a lot of better books, then the rating may change. And I think the Twisted series might be one of those, but also I don't feel like I rated them crazy high. For the most part, the average is like a 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It's one of those series that I think are good, but just kind of good. Like, we have a lot of tropes. We have Grumpy Sunshine, we got enemies to lovers, forced proximity, like a lot of that, but I felt like there was a lot of telling instead of showing, which is my biggest pet peeve, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit more in detail. So the first book is Twisted Love. It's brother's best friend trope, and our FMC, her older brother, went away for some trip and he asked his best friend to look after her, and they end up falling in love. So it's a Grumpy Sunshine type trope and billionaire trope as well, which on paper I should eat up, but it just, I don't know, it was just like an average type story for me, honestly. There was a twist at the end that I definitely wasn't expecting, but for the most part I think it was just like average. Then the next one was Twisted Games, and it was a forced proximity, I guess also Grumpy Sunshine type trope. We have a princess who has a new bodyguard. Oh, there's also an age gap as well. We follow their story and learn more about that. She's also going to be queen now, because in her country you're not allowed to marry someone who's not royal blood or something like that. It's been a while. And her older brother recently married a girl who I guess wasn't royal, so he cannot be king anymore. So she has to take over and become queen, but at the same time she starts having feelings for this bodyguard. So it's also forbidden love. We follow that, which honestly I didn't mind this book. I thought I was gonna love it a lot more than the first book, but it's just way too big. I feel like a lot of problems with romance stories is that they get too big for no reason, and the slow burn was way too slow for me personally. So then we have Twisted Hate, which honestly I thought I was gonna like it the least, just because I felt like the characters in the third book were kind of annoying me in the first 2 books, but surprisingly it ended up being my favorite. And I think maybe because there's more besides their romance that I was intrigued about, and like it kept me interested. I don't know, something about it I really liked. It's an enemies to lovers. The brother in the first book comes back from his trip for school or something like that, and he ends up in a situation with his sister's best friend. So it's funny because the siblings' love interests are both their siblings' best friend, if that makes sense. I don't know. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think I rated this a 4 star, but sometimes I wonder, like, is it 4 star objectively or just in comparison to the other books? I don't know. I'll have to think about that. The last book in the series is called Twisted Lies, which honestly I thought I was gonna eat up the most because it's billionaire. Is it Grumpy Sunshine? I think Grumpy Sunshine, also fake dating. I guess it's kind of forced proximity. It was just giving everything that I thought I was gonna love, but unfortunately I just didn't, and that sucks. That's so unfortunate because I really thought I was gonna love it. The FMC, she is doing social media and then she finds out she has like a stalker, and the male main character does like security and stuff like that, so he offers to kind of like, I mean, I guess kind of protect her, because eventually like she moves into his suite because she lives in the building that he owns. But yeah, he kind of gave me creepy vibes, not gonna lie. Like, I wish I liked him, but it just wasn't doing it for me. And also I felt like the girl was kind of, I don't know, I just couldn't relate to her. There was nothing special I felt like about her. But yeah, I don't want to go too much in detail with these books just because, like I said, I made videos about them. But overall, this series, I feel like it's a good series to read if you have nothing else to read and you know it's not going to be like completely miserable. But I do feel like sometimes it did drag on. But if you have like a love for a lot of different tropes, especially Grumpy Sunshine, enemies to lovers, and billionaires, then read this series because it has like everything, honestly. It's like an average middle of the road type series. But I'm gonna pause. I need to charge this camera. I'm gonna work a little bit more on my stickers, give you a quick little update. This is currently what I'm working with, if you can even see that. Oops. All right, you'll have to see it when I'm done, but let me charge this a little bit, keep going, and then we have a few more books to talk about. Moving on to the next book, I want to talk a little bit about Credence by Penelope Douglas. I made a reading blog about this, so I definitely recommend you watch it because it was crazy. But pretty much it is about a girl who her parents died, so she has to go live with her dad's stepbrother, so her step uncle. And oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Okay. She moves in with her step uncle and his sons, and she pretty much does spicy things with her step uncle and step cousins. Yeah, and and we read to learn who she decides to be with at the end of the day. And that was definitely a reading experience that I was not expecting, which is, you know, bad on my part because I read the description, but for whatever reason, it just did not register to me like how weird this is. This girl was not likable at all. I didn't like her. I didn't like her name. I didn't like anything about her. She was just annoying, and I don't know why all these men wanted to be with her. Oh, and she's, how old is she? I think she was like 17 and then about to be 18. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I completely forgot about that part. Yeah, she comes to the house 17, turns 18 in the house, and I guess it's free reign with your step family, like, once you're 18. Wow, I really read that. Penelope Douglas definitely has a genre. I read Birthday Girl by her also on Kindle Unlimited if you want to read that, and it's not family related, but the main character ends up having a situation with her ex-boyfriend's dad, so she does like a good age gap. And also I realized that she has a recent book out called Five Brothers, so hopefully it's not her own brothers but I think it's about like her having a thing with each brother and trying to find out which one she wants to be with. So she likes to keep things in the family for sure. Read this book if you want to be shook and, I don't know, need something juicy to talk about, because girl, I was sending voice memos to my friend like every chapter I read because something crazy was happening. Yeah, watch that vlog though. It was probably one of my favorite reading vlogs I've ever done. It was something. So that's on Kindle Unlimited if you're interested. Then I want to talk about the Chestnut Spring series, which I think every book is on Kindle Unlimited, but I have the physical copies. It is about these brothers and how I guess they find love. The first one is enemies to lovers. The second one is grumpy sunshine single dad trope. The next one is friends to lovers. Then we have, I guess, like a reverse grumpy sunshine situation and surprise pregnancy, which I wish they kind of didn't put it in the back because I feel like that's kind of a spoiler, but that's what is on the back of the book. And then the last one is a fake dating situation. And I gave more detail in a recent review, but honestly, again, I feel like the Chestnut Spring series is a little overhyped, not gonna lie. I feel very similarly to how I feel with the Twisted series. Like, it's good, but it's not amazing. I feel like there's like miscommunication in every book. Like, the conflicts suck, I'm not gonna even lie. And I feel like they're too big. They do not need to be that big. This third book, The Friends to Lovers, do not read it. I did not like it. It was not good, but also I'm not a huge fan of Friends to Lovers, but I've definitely read some good Friends to Lovers stories before, but this one just was not it. They annoyed me. Don't know what I was reading. My favorite one was the second one, Heartless, which is the grumpy sunshine single dad trope. I just felt like they have good personalities. There was more plot going, but like I said, these books are too long and it's not like amazing writing because I feel like there was, again, more showing than telling, like in Twisted Love. Not bad writing, but just like I feel like it's really hard, and I struggle with this as I try to write. But if we just keep doing too much telling, not enough showing, then I'm gonna get annoyed. I feel like in these books where it is interconnected standalones, they try to give you way too much information in case you didn't read the other books so you are caught up. But at the same time, I feel like that's annoying. Like, I don't need like a whole page giving me an explanation of what happened in the last book, what's going on, you know? I just wasn't a fan. I will say I did like the small town cowboy aesthetic. I definitely enjoyed that. I like the found family type. Is it found family if the brothers are all related? I don't know, but I do like that. The last book was weird because she was 22 and he was what, 36 or 38 or something, and it was giving a weird dynamic power imbalance, get away from those girl vibes. Like he infantilized her, is that the word? Because she was like young and inexperienced, and she also did it to herself because she would ask weird questions. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like the main character in the last book would ask weird like sexual questions out of nowhere and in public, and it just was kind of, I don't know, weird. But read this book, I think, if you have nothing else to read, but it's not amazing. Don't expect great literature, but it was fun. I think the second book, which I rated a 4-star, which was my favorite, maybe because I loved the book, not because I think it's a good book. Similar vibes to how I feel about Terms and Conditions, which is in the Dreamland Billionaire series. Then lastly, I want to talk about Magnolia Parks, which I read a couple years ago, and the way I tell you, I really wanted to love this book, but I just couldn't. And I heard so many good things about it. I was hearing that it's giving Gossip Girl, which I did get those vibes. A lot of good things about it, but I just couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't get into it. I felt like it was boring because we follow Magnolia and her relationship with this guy named BJ, and they're no longer together, but they were together and they have a weird situationship going on, and we're trying to figure out why they broke up. And when we find out why they broke up, one, it was kind of predictable to me, and also two, like it's one of those things where I felt like all right, so tell me why my camera died, but I think I was saying how like the reason why Magnolia and BJ broke up, it annoyed me. Like I wish it wasn't what it was. You know what? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Go ahead and watch my review of that if you're interested. But I hear so much hype about it and I just personally don't get it. And the next book is Daisy Hates, then they go back to Magnolia Parks, and then I think Daisy Hates, which is another character, so they switch back and forth. I hear it gets maybe better, but also from the same people who thought the first book was good, and I don't know, maybe I'll give it a second chance. I don't know, because I do like the found family aspect of it, but Magnolia was annoying to me, and I really wanted to like her. I will say the writing was amazing. I really liked the writing in that book. It made me feel like I was a part of the world and stuff like that, and I can see why it was giving Gossip Girl vibes. But I also will say that I skipped all the descriptions of clothes because Magnolia loves clothes and fashion, and I just couldn't even visualize what she's talking about because it was like high-end expensive stuff that I just don't own or know anything about. So anyways, those are all of the Kindle books that are available on Kindle Unlimited. If you're interested, I will put the links to the physical books down below, so if anything sounded interesting, then you guys can go ahead and read it. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and share my stickers now. So this is what I decided to put on my Kindle. We have a cute little truck that says Hello Autumn, then the little envelope with the leaves, a little mushroom and a leaf in the center, the hedgehog, some pumpkins, and a little rabbit. Something that I always want to be mindful of is the balance of everything. Like I like the green on green here. I feel like that balances out, and then like the row of orange, then the two animals. Like I feel like it's pretty symmetrical in color and object and stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but I really liked it. So I will put the link of these stickers in the description, as well as my old stickers and the Kindle case, literally everything. But this is her. I hope you like it. Stay tuned for the decorating my Kindle for winter video because that one is also really fun as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far, because obviously you liked me enough to watch to the end. Leave a leaf emoji or any fall themed emoji if you made it this far. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!